What's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another video of Atomic Chess. Let's get right into it. You know the drill. The knight's going to try to attack me, and I shall let them right on in. But little do they know, I have set up quite the devious trap. For you see, my queen now has the opportunity to make a few lethal blows to completely tear their position to shreds. And just like that, I traded one piece for 4, one of which was also the queen. All in all, I am playing pretty strongly, powerfully even. And I'm following up that devastating attack with a check? I mean, does it ever end, ladies and gentlemen? Does it ever end? Nobody knows. But now I'm moving in. I've got my sights set on either the rook or the bishop. Ah, they just tried to win these 3 pieces. I am not allowing that to slide. Now all they've really got against me are the rooks. And if this rook on the left does anything, then I'll just block it with my bishop. Pretty simply. Like for instance, if they go onto the G file, I'll just move my bishop to the G file like so. Now they just put me in check, which was a complete waste of time on their part. Also, look at my time, by the way. I've only spent 2 seconds all in all, and they've spent 50. Okay. They did manage to save the life of their rook, only to doom it moments later. And voila, I've locked. Okay then, I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna put that there. Simultaneously blocking the rook and threatening the king via this check. I think the only good move is for the king to have removed, but not that way. So, looks like I just demolished this opponent in Atomic Chess. Let's play again. I can't remember. The rating's pretty close, but I don't think this is the same person. Feel free to correct me in the comments if it's actually the same person. How much do you want to bet there's not even going to move? They're too intimidated by my overwhelming rating. And, yep, alright. Play again. Let's see if we get somebody mightier. Okay, no, that is definitely the same person. Now I get to show you a favorite offensive technique of mine. Now, usually moves I see are queen there, but they didn't do that. So now I win. Now I've gotten far enough to where I just win in 1 or 2 moves, no matter what they do. So yeah, you'll just see some free moves. Oh. Wait, what? Ladies and gentlemen, consider me dumbfounded. I thought that was unsurvivable. I thought that the king was boxed in, and that I had a guarantee of just... I'm stupid. Hopefully they don't see that, but yeah, what was I thinking? Okay, so that was horrendous. Let me show you a couple things. First, the reason why I thought I had a guaranteed victory here. I somehow did not register that this space was free, so I thought the king could not move, and that they would push this pawn. So if they push this pawn and the knight were here, that would mean the king would still be trapped, and on the next move I would take the trapped bishop, blowing up the king. Understand? That did not happen because this space was open, and somehow I never registered that space was open, because usually opponents do not do that. Now let's fast forward a few moves. Now my thought process here, I stopped caring about the bishop for some reason, and I'm just going to do that and this. And I'm pretty sure queen here would have won in like 1 or 2 moves, maybe. I don't know. And then I immediately realized that this was going to happen, and just hoped that they wouldn't notice, and they noticed, and I lost. That was a pretty nice game analysis. On to the next one. On to the next one. Happy Dog Tuffy. Oh, Happy Dog Tuffy. Oh, okay. Nice. Alright, now I'll try the same opening as last time and see if it actually works. Now, like I said, I usually expect the queen to go here. That's usually what I observe. That's not happening. Okay. So... Huh. I guess this is just not my day. My opening keeps being thwarted for some reason. I'll just do that to stop the knight from meaningfully progressing. The knight just traded itself for a pawn? Why? Let's see if I can get them to trade a pawn and a knight for a bishop. Nope, they traded a pawn and a bishop for a knight. How ironic. How ironic. Sure, I'll destroy your queen immediately. And they resigned. Now, I wonder what the thought process was there. Let's see. The idea was probably to go here as like a check, but that was equally terrible. Maybe, I can't think of what. Okay, this move was a bad idea. Maybe they just didn't see the bishop, honestly. Maybe they just didn't see the bishop. Because this would be an even more obvious loss of a queen. So I don't think they were planning on going here. I think they just didn't notice that my bishop was there from way earlier. Because it is a pretty weird place for a bishop to be, all things considered. So it's kind of understandable. But what happened happened. And I took the queen, and they were never heard from again. Let's do another game or two, shall we? Alright, looks like another fresh new player. Wonder if I can... As I was saying, looks like another fresh new player. Wonder if I can... Huh. Rematch? Even better. More easy XP for me. Not XP, ELO, right. We all know what it means. It's always the same thing. Now my one indomitable pawn will just terrorize them. Should I give them the satisfaction of an actual explosion? Did I just... Okay, that was a very bizarre mouse slip. Oh, it doesn't really matter. They'll do something ridiculous in a couple moves, and I'll win, so not too worried. Yep. They allowed me to do that. King has to move, by the way. In fact, I'm pretty sure King D whatever was the only move they could make, and they did not make it, so I won. Now, for those of you who didn't pick up on it here, the thing I was debating was whether I'd go here and checkmate them, because this would be checkmate, or here and actually blow them up, because this is checkmate and this is explosion, and they were both equally winning moves because obviously they win. My question was just, should I give them the sheer satisfaction of an explosion, or just checkmate them and seem more refined in doing so? But, alas, I mouse slipped, and my queen was here, and blundered. I gave away, and frankly, I don't even know why they took with queen. They could have taken with this bishop, and then I do this and I don't know, I do that. Then I do like this and I do that. Like, you know, if they took with bishop, I would have been in serious trouble. But at any rate, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And until next time, take care.